I believe good design always revolves around an idea. And the more you can kind of express that idea and stick to the idea, the more successful the design will be. Hello, my name is Christian Lehmkuhl, and I'm a design director in the Dallas office. I like to tell a story. So I was growing up in East Germany, and particularly in East Berlin. And after the Second World War, big parts of Germany, particularly of Berlin, were destroyed. And so there was a housing shortage. And the way they were trying to fix it was by building these kind of tilt wall concrete slab buildings. And those were kind of mass housing buildings. There was one design. It was very functional. It wasn't very good, but it was very, very fast to build. The reality was not as good because it was basically monotonous concrete structures that created a very planned city, very functional, not particularly aesthetic, not particularly experience-driven. And so I remember when I was a kid, I was going through these satellite cities, and it was always windy because we basically just had these extruded concrete structures, and the wind would just blow around it, and it was a very dull and monotonous experience. It's obviously not the exact reason when I decided to become an architect, but even as a kid, it kind of occurred to me that's not a good experience. And so I was always interested in what the experience of our environment does to us. I think design is inherently intuitive to some extent, but I don't think of it in a way that it means that design is like a personal opinion, but rather it's inherent knowledge that you have gathered over a long time. I've always been excited about technology. One of my degrees is a Master of Science, and I was particularly interested in that because I was interested in the intersection between architecture and technology. That can manifest in different ways. Obviously, we talked about experience a little bit. So the integration of digital media and immersive environments is always something I've been interested in because I think it adds an additional layer to experience that is really valuable and kind of gets you to a point of emotional response that architecture doesn't always get to. So I think those things are really powerful and interesting. When it comes to AI and the use of AI in architecture, obviously we are on a precipice of something, and you can work with AI and co-create a stadium that has fluid lines and looks particularly elegant. As a tool, it's really interesting and powerful, but I think it doesn't absolve the architect from any of the things that he's asked to do. I think it's a way to gather more ideas faster. It's a way to visualize this idea better, but I don't think it actually creates architecture by itself. Often clients come in and have very specific ideas what they want, and they ask us, okay, can you give this a form? Sometimes it's more a collaborative process where we can help the client figure out what they actually wanted. Then from there, it lies squarely in the duties of the design director to come up with a grander idea. And if you find a way to give this idea form in an inherent logic of the design, then you got something that is self-evident. So I think that's one of the things that design directors are asked to do. And often that happens in team settings. Like you have a charrette, you bring a lot of people in, you find that idea, and then it's really upon the design director to guide the team members, the conversation towards something that is the essence of an idea, that then everybody can use as a guiding star throughout the design process. I think design is always a result of critical thinking, and so if done right, it will always be authentic and original. And so the idea that there will always be something new on the horizon, I always take great comfort in.